Meeting for the 28th time since 1967. Washington looks for win number 18 over New Orleans, but the Saints can make it 3 in a row over the football team. Week 5 is coming your way next.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. They love their football in this part of the country, and this crowd is ready to go as their guys will match up with the New Orleans Saints. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And CD, you look at Washington coming into play here. They've got to be thinking, hey, we've got a good chance to be successful here running the football.
No doubt about that, because that has to be their mindset. It should be their mindset. This is one of the better rushing offenses in the league, and they're squaring off against a team that's not at all strong on the other side of the ball. So this could be one where we see this offense try to impose their will through the trenches, and in fact, they should.
Quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Taken at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. First drive coming up here for this New Orleans Saints offense, and leading him out at quarterback here in 2021 in his 7th NFL season, it's Jameis Winston.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Off the play fake, Winston. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get the football? You're exactly right. It was hard for them to stop him.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath, maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
The completion there for Winston. And Jameis, of course, kind of such a boom or bust proposition at the quarterback position. He can light you up or he can give games away. So defensively, what's the mindset with a quarterback like that?
For me, it's playing more coverage than it is blitzing him, because I think that he has so much confidence in his arm. He may take an extra chance or two, and if you have enough guys downfield, you get those tip balls, or you're able to make a play on the football at the point where the ball gets to the receiver, then you've got a chance to make some good plays against Jameis.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd down.
And how about for Alvin Kamara? Another great year that he's coming off of as an all-around player, but especially as a pass catcher. 81 receptions each of his first 3 NFL seasons. Last year added 2 more to finish with 83, the most by any running back in the NFL. An awfully dangerous man in the open field.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same. but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well. And the Saints not only missing Drew Brees from last year, they also lost their top tight end, Jared Cook, to the Chargers. So tight end, it's a position in flux, but that's a nice grab there to pick up the first down.
On play action, Winston. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Chase Young in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. Touchdown, Saints. Michael Thomas, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. They'll be led out by their 4th-year man from Houston. It's Kyle Allen.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Well, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience is early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. They'll run. It's Gibson. It's a 1st down and more for Gibson. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. A handoff for Gibson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago. The hat trick +1. 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him and feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
There goes a deep ball, end zone. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his 4th touchdown on the year. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but There's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And we knew that this offense was going to try and put pressure on the secondary. That was something they talked about with us. They knew that they had an advantage, pressed it, and there you go. Big play for a touchdown on their very first possession.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. Now this is going to put him back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10. Now Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the rookie first-rounder, Jamin Davis. And they will set up shop red zone territory at the 13-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. And here's a give to Gibson. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Gibson here running out of the gun. Ooh, with a juke. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after one. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Gibson. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And Washington has taken the lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense. Well, September sure treated him kindly. Now we flip over to October. Any reason to think that those numbers drop, or can he keep the pace up?
Well, he can keep the pace up, but it's going to get a lot more difficult now. To me, it's a lot like baseball, all right? When guys, when they first hit the league, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter, and they go through the league the first time and they're hot, they're going, wow, what a phenom. Then they get tape on them, they get scouting reports, they start to do different things. Let's see if he's going to adapt and expand his game in order to keep up that type of production.
That's a good call because he's a known entity. See how they defend him going forward. From the 27, Winston.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Kamara. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Open man is the tight end, Troutman. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Winston to give. It's Kamara. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. From the gun, Winston. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Chase Young racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more than he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. On 4th down, the Saints bring on their new punter for 2021, Blake Gillikin, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season, and of course it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Allen. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
1st down, and they're going to throw with Allen. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. Touchdown, Washington! Curtis Samuel, his first touchdown on the year. And Washington is able to stretch their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now 21-7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense?
A solid stiff arm and some open field. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
I know we spend a lot of time talking about how the defensive backs read routes and make plays on the football. How about a good linebacker? Feeling the route, seeing the quarterback, jumps the play, and knocks it away. Really well done.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. On third down, here's Kamara. And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on fourth down. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fielded at the 20.
So we've reached halftime here at our nation's capital with the Washington football team on top.
As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And it's the Panthers who are out in front. Christian McCaffrey has a touchdown there. From there, we move to H-Town to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. Damian Harris, 94 yards rushing there. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. Jared Goff has a touchdown pass. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Saints. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Meanwhile, for Washington, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Both teams currently making their final adjustments. We're getting ready for the second half. So we'll send it back up to FedEx Field and hand things back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the halftime break behind us, and we are back underway with the third quarter of action.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more.
And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Washington.
Antonio Gibson
with touchdown number 15 on the year and second of the game.
And Washington going to add on to their lead. Sly on for the extra point.
He knocks it through. It's 28-7. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. To throw, Winston. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, the timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more.
You start prorating these rushing numbers and looking ahead, he could be on pace for a 2,000-yard season. I don't want to jinx him, but what a year to this point.
But you just did.
Sorry?
That's okay. No, he can overcome that.
I'm not apologizing to you.
No.
Okay?
I like your attitude. But you're right. What's got to happen for it to actually occur? Offensive line has continued blocking the way they've been blocking. He has to stay healthy. But also, it's not just the idea that he's going to run the football, but you got to run it against numbers that dictate you throwing the football. Sometimes when you have 6 to block and you only have 5 guys, you've got to block them anyway, and he has to make someone miss as well the rest of the year.
On second down, here's Gibson again.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
134 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame.
How about his performance last week? Over 200 yards. I think his decisiveness, one cut and he goes, that's what's really made him pile up the yardage.
And the yardage he piled up last week, easily honored with NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I would have voted for him.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Now Allen. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone.
And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Cam Sims.
His second touchdown on the season.
And the interception by the Washington defense leads to a touchdown.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
After the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
Good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Callaway, the return man.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Saints again ready to go on offense.
And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10.
Just shy of the 30.
And he'll start with a give to Kamara.
This will go for 5 up to the 33.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after them now.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Winston now.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Jamin Davis in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. Well, remember, he had the interception earlier. Now he adds the sack. He's really making his presence felt out there.
Well, he is putting together a heck of a game. In fact, he's going to bump these plays to his highlight reel. Okay, so when he wants to show it off later on, look what I did out there, guys. In this offense, they've got to start paying him a little special attention. He's like a good basketball player, putting stats in every column.
A good return there, 17 yards.
And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more.
He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to that and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Come on, bring it. Gibson gets hit and he fumbles it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. They'll run with Gibson.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
On 1st down, right back to Gibson.
And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. 169 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They'll run with Gibson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, a 5-yard touchdown run. And this Washington offense continuing to add to their lead.
He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football.
Yeah,
what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead.
Now Joey Slye for the point after.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Callaway, the return man. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Winston now to throw on 1st down. He gets it complete to Harris. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Let's get it.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
To throw again on second down, Winston. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Chase Young, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long.
On 3rd down, Winston.
That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up the 4th down.
Parker, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up with big trouble, as we just saw right there.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And it's safe to say he has been getting his money's worth in this one.
I would agree with that totally. Being able to go back and launch it and air it out. And let's face it, it's not just him stepping back and flinging it, though. You've got to have someone who can go get it. And that's important for any offense. Someone who can stretch the field, or as they like to say, take the top off of a zone defense, open things up, because then you can come back and throw underneath and gain some pretty good chunks of yardage as well.
He's ripped the top off of whatever defense they've been playing. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 189 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Gibson. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. They'll run here with Gibson.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back.
They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete.
20, 10, 5. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football.
And I caught a quick glimpse of him before the ball was snapped, and there was something about his body language where you could tell early in this play he wasn't just thinking first down. He was thinking end zone, and he got there.
And the next-gen stats show us the tale of how much yardage he was able to tack on after the catch. Slide for the PAT.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From just inside the 20, a short kick. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
A first down throw for Winston.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one. Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
First down, Winston. And his throw is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
2nd and 10.
Here's Winston. He's going to let it fly. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And Jameis intercepted a third time. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
On 3rd down, Gibson. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Washington, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll have another home date next week as the Kansas City Chiefs come to town. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they'll fall to 1-4 with a